The 1993 Champions Trophy hockey tournament from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. This is the 15th staging of the event, and Australia has a proud record in it, having won the tournament 5 times, most recently in Melbourne in 1990. It's always been an event for 6 countries, this time the world's top 5 in Germany, Australia, Pakistan, the Netherlands and Spain, plus the host nation Malaysia, who are currently ranked 8th, but at home should trouble some of the others. They appear in our first match, in fact, against the current World Cup holders, the Netherlands, who were without 2 of their stars, Taco van der Honnet and Floris Bovelander.
And it's deflection and it's in. That's a good slip move by Holland.
The Orange Army had far the better of the first half. Walter Drent scoring that first goal, Jackie Brinkman the second.
Beautiful reverse skills there. Perfect timing.
The Dutch offended in the penalty corner situation, presenting Malaysia with a penalty stroke, well taken by Lee Chow.
Puts it into the top box, and that's a great goal by Lee Chow.
Full time, the Netherlands 2, Malaysia 1. Olympic champions Germany are the masters of the short corner plays, and against a hesitant Spanish defence, Bjorn Michel strolled in.
And he can't believe it.
Monsoonal rain forced players from the Tun Razak Stadium for a brief time. Little had changed when they returned, Christian Meyerhofer finding the net.
Again brought their penalty corner machine into play, and while everybody
Australia and Pakistan played the last match of day 1, and an incomplete save from the keeper presented Aussie veteran Mark Hager with an easy finish for the first goal. It was so nearly a second when Paul Lewis found himself unmarked at the far post, but his joy was quashed by an offside ruling.
It's a great touch in at the far side by Lewis, but as he celebrates the joy, the umpire's arm is up.
Pakistan finally cashed in on sustained second half pressure when Tahir Zaman converted a short corner.
Great goal for an equaliser for Pakistan.
The Australians found a winner through vice-captain David Wansborough, whose brilliant reverse stick skills almost resulted in him being suffocated in the post-goal celebrations.
Colleagues rush around to congratulate him.
Final score, Australia 2, Pakistan 1. Well, the Australians would have kicked themselves if they hadn't grabbed both points there, because they had more opportunities than Pakistan, who looked a little lacklustre. On day 2, Pakistan did manage 2 goals, but unfortunately for them, Germany banged in 3, while Malaysia delighted their fans with a 2-1 win over Spain. There was only 1 game played on day 3, Australia against the Netherlands. Each had recorded a win, but neither had impressed. Your commentator at the Tun Razak Stadium is former England goalkeeper Ian Taylor.
Elmer feeds the ball through, looking for Corbett, intercepted. Van Pelt to Dellison, and I wonder how often we're going to see a pass going to Dellison this afternoon. Good rob by Hager there. Wansborough on the break, coming down the centre of the field. That weaving run of Wansborough's, but he's robbed as David takes the ball and plays it out to Brinkman. Brinkman trying to find Dellison. The ball's cleared to Van Eyde. Van Eyde feeds a long ball to Vane. Vane in lots of space as Carruthers comes back, threads the ball through, puts it onto the feet there, and Carruthers is quite happy with that to concede the free hit. Holland in pressure around the circle. Perhaps they'll be looking for penalty corners. They bring Brinkman up for the strike. Elmer facing it. Stick down. Struck by Brinkman. It's intercepted by Carruthers, but he's put it unluckily onto the back of Warren Birmingham's foot. And umpire Yasudatan from Malaysia has given a penalty corner. Obviously there's a threat here, and Australia will be disappointed really to have conceded an unforced error. Holland will be very happy to put pressure, certainly on Lachlan Drecker in goal. Tests his metal. Brinkman pitches out. Dillison undoubtedly will stop and dictate. Roll forward, Drent strikes, good save. Rebound comes in again. Great keeping by the keeper. As Wick tries to get the ball across, desperate defence. The ball's allowed to play, and this is where Australia are dangerous. Quickly breaks to the right. Corbett's out there, he's got the ball. He's weaving. Oh, that's a superb interception. Jevitt. No, it's Gebink for Holland as he breaks to Brinkman. To Dellison again. Dellison controls the play, looking for the pass. Veen picks it up wide on the left. Still outside the Australian 25. Playing it around through Dellison. The ball constantly coming back to that central point. Good interception by Australia. Stephen Davis picks up and looks at the counter. Out wide to Bodymead. Bodymead back to Davis. Can't see a way through, it goes back. Jay Stacey. To Stephen Davis. Back through Birmingham. Buster plays it to Elmer. Van Pelt gets the better of Greg Corbett there, much to the delight of the Dutch crowd. And plays it around through Drent, through Javid, and again through that middleman, Dellison. Good interception by Australia, but don't get possession of the ball, and we're sure I'm going to see a lot of that. With Holland prepared just to keep hold of the ball, maybe 10, 15 passes around the back, and then looking for the incisive pass. Wick makes a break, in control, going down the left, brings it square. Up comes Brinkman in support, feeds out to Van Eyde. Van Eyde attacks the circle. Van Eyde pulls it back, typical indoor Brinkman, and it's wide. And he throws his head in his hands. He just can't believe he's missed the goal. Great opportunity there, which is well worth seeing again. Typically indoor, European indoor. Van Eyde goes down to the touchline, pulls it very square back. Brinkman with an open goal. And the Australians will be very happy to see that off target. Good pressure from the Dutch, constantly piling, constantly pushing back, and the ball deflected up there for another penalty corner for Holland. And really Australia a little bit on the rack at the moment, need to compose themselves and need to get those fast running forwards going. Dellison, as always, calls his little meeting to decide which of the options they're going to use. Captain, and really plays the captain's role, dictates, as Brinkman again pushes out, stopped, rolled, struck again, wide of the goal. Rule number one at the penalty corner, don't strike it wide. All those men going in for the rebounds, and Drent shows his disappointment there, shrugs his head as the ball comes out through Elmer. Elmer plays it straight to Corbett. Onsford just plays it back to Eld again. Long ball, and that's a great interception there. Superb play by Smolinar. Another new name for this team is Jay Stacey. Frustrated, goes back through Williams to Birmingham. Birmingham looking wide to Corbett. Corbett controls. Again weaves his way through, finds a little bit of a gap, but it's intercepted by Van Eyde. As Van Pelt breaks with the ball, tries an aerial unsuccessfully. Elmer just picks up, Wansborough short on his shoulder, wants the ball, gives me the ball, throws it to Elmer. Elmer attacks, runs diagonally at the circle. Another great tackle, and that's Drent again, sweeping behind as the ball comes through Dellison to Brinkman. Brinkman plays it wide. Veen, that man loose and roaming, again attacks the circle. He's passed, no, that's a superb tackle there. Great cover by Carruthers, as again the Australians try to counter-attack, really throwing everything at these Dutch people. Dutch wall at the moment, don't seem to be able to get past the 25 before Holland break it up, and then Smolinar slows it down, plays it back to Drent, controls the ball. They're not going to give it away. Javid to Dellison as ever, and back, controlling the ball, and this will frustrate Australia once. And there's really shows the chance for Corbett as he makes a snatch, centres the ball, and Davis throws himself at the far post and only just missed it. We've seen him on many occasions score from situations like that. He'll be disappointed he didn't get a touch, but he did well to get that far, and I'm sure Bart Luigi is pleased to see him miss that. Again, Gibbing. This is a young player with prospects, as again he goes through Dellison. Dellison always looking to probe as he finds Gearis with a bit of space, but a good job as Birmingham, deep in his own half, not where he likes to play, receives the ball, plays it back. Collected by Hager, and there's Birmingham, and he wants to be playing the other side of the halfway line, and it's Dellison who's pushing him back. But that's a good ball through, and Davis finds space, but behind is Drent again to sweep up. Hager picks up. Bit of a sandwich there. Santideo didn't like that, and he gives Hager the benefit. Squeeze between the two Dutchmen. Fouled off the ball, free hit. Davis wanting the ball. Again, he wants to go at that circle. Has a go. Turns the ball. Gets the first incident, which is the feet. Looks quickly for the first ball, throws it across the circle, but again, there's Drent to sweep up and clear up the bits and pieces. Having a good game, good tournament so far, and he'll hope to do so for the rest of this game. As Williams crashes the ball in, obviously off a Dutch stick, but But where and who, it was hard to see. That's a long corner. Holland will be desperate to defend that circle. They want to keep it outside the circle. Ball's driven across, picked up at the far post. Tucks inside. Stacey. Stacey with the flick shot there, but Bartolucci was up to it and tipped it round the side. Stacey coming from deep. He's playing right half, but very often assumes that inside right type position. Likes to get in the circle, likes to get that big, strong man. And when he hits it across, you'll see what I mean by power. Cracked it across, it's up half a stick. Yes, it's a penalty corner. No, he says it's just outside the circle. And again, Jay Stacey, right on the edge of the circle. Took the ball inside short this time. But again, Dellison, out with the ball. Throws it a bit wide and Williams collects on the halfway line. Williams looking for the pass, looking to see the gap. Thinks of the aerial and throws it up. It's a good ball. Molinar's there. And again, through Dellison. Birmingham quickly comes up, but Dellison lays it off and picks it back up again. Really needs a bit of pressure on him because he's got a lot of time. And Birmingham allowing him to dictate the pace of the game just a little too much. Brinkman feeds it through. Van Pelt coming through on a run from the back. Attack the Australian 25, and that's a superb tackle from Elmer. But umpire Yeshidun says no, a penalty corner. I'd be a bit surprised at that, and I'm sure the Australian defence cover there just can't believe it. Superb tackle back, but foul is given, and a penalty corner as Dellison calls the next option. Will it be Dren's strike? Will it be Yavid? Or, as always, Brinkman push out. Stopped by Dellison. Roll forward, struck. It's in the goal, but no, the umpire's disallowed it too high. Must hit that 18-inch backboard, and the umpire quite clear in his mind. Australia quickly set up the counter-attack through Williams, carrying the ball forward, just outside his own 25. Progresses again, looking for the gap. Holland playing a half-court press, laying back, waiting for the ball to be brought to them, not committing, man-to-man marking. But Bodymead's got away this time. Got away from his first man, and of course, that man Drent's there at the back again to cover. Bodymead with David, looking to work the post ball. David tucks it inside. Stacey drills it across, and Van Aid comes away to Dellison. Dellison tucks it beautifully back to Warren Birmingham's leg. Out wide, he gets the wick with the ball, cuts it back, feeds it across the circle, and yes, it's Brinkman. Brinkman's in, he shoots, and that's a great save from Lachlan Dreher. Super save. The ball comes out to Stacey and a counter-attack set up. Davis on the ball, carrying it forward. The Dutch content to block it, to stop it. And let's see that attempt again. He comes in, he takes a little bit too much time, but that's good goalkeeping. Covers a big area, gets his pads right behind it, and the ball comes out to his side. But the Australian circle is again under pressure. And Gibbing pulled it back. Australia desperate in defence there, looking to counter-attack, but really Holland are getting the better of it at the moment. Paul Lewis carrying the ball, feeding it off. Stephen Davis having a superb game, tireless at the moment. Feeds through, but no room through, and the back they must come. Lewis again, on the Dutch 25, looking for a pass. Feed out wide with Corbett. Corbett tries to tuck it through. Massive orange wall, just not going through there. And out they come again. Possession. Molinar's feed. Really, what was the point of the ball? Well, I think he's looking for a breather. Wants to take the pressure off that Dutch defence. They couldn't keep it, so just throw it down the corner, give the Australians a 16. Australia through Birmingham, back down the right, looking to thread it. Good ball through. Bodymead can't find any space. Molinars gives him no room at the end of the first half, so the score's 0-0. Very tight game, very tactical game, but certainly the Dutch getting the better of it. And Frank Murray and those Australian supporters want to know what's to be done to beat this Dutch half-court press as we get into the second half with Holland again in control of the ball. Dellison and Birmingham, as ever, contesting strongly in midfield as Lewis comes away with the ball, driving down the middle. Feeds it out wide. Corbett shoots wide. He'll be disappointed. Rule 1 of this Australian front line. you get a chance it goes on goal. He'll be disappointed. Let's have a look at that again while the two midfielders pick themselves up. Great play by Lewis. Speeds Corbett, who's got time for the shot. Doesn't quite catch hold of it, and it's into the sideboard. Holland is a rare long ball out. Picked up by Giris. Williams rushes back. And Elmer comes away with the ball. Looks square. Stacey. Looks long. Hits it through. Finds a big almighty gap, but no Australian roaming forward there. And the Dutch would be very pleased to see that go. So two contrasting games here, as we can see, with the Dutch playing the possession game, always a possession game, prepared to play it forward and back. Australia wanting more to get those fast running forwards into attack, wanting to counter-attack with the speed and pace. Birmingham showing his skills. To Carruthers, hits it long, not quite picked up there. And Gibbing is a strong run and a strong lad. As he goes all the way from one half into the Australian circle down to the sideline. He's asking for the short corner, but no. Good defence. Good covering by Carruthers there. Throw himself full length. Gibbing really felt he should have got a penalty corner. The long corner's driven in. Touched again. Stacey determined to keep that ball out of the circle. Wick hits it in again. Space. Van Aide attacks the circle. That's a good rob by Elmer. Plays it forward. Tight in the middle here. The Dutch want to stop it. Stop it they do. Australia get the sideline ball. Umpire not too happy. Just a quick word there. I'm sure good spirit this game's been played in. It comes through Birmingham. Birmingham looks forward, just can't see anywhere. He turns. Good control, but still can't see the pass. And inevitably he's back to Carruthers on his own 25. Constantly being driven backwards. And again, that dreaded 50-yard pass, but no Australian on the end. Good team, tactical work by the Dutch team. And when they're in possession, rule one, don't give it away. David, hits long, straight off. Australia, again, looking to counter. Elmer feeds it back. Carruthers. Again to the middle, Wansborough, not allowed to run to Birmingham. Jay Stacey. Looking for the pass to Wansborough, to Stacey. Still no room through that orange wall. Davis finds space, gets behind his man, attacks the circle. That's a good inside ball, but Bartlucci beats Wansborough to it, and David will be disappointed. Good goalkeeping, good defence, good teamwork. Davis and Stacey again, looking for a gap, looking to get it in play. Short, Stacey drives at the circle. Picked up, but no, Holland come away with Van Aide. Stacey disappointed. Umpires say advantage, play goes on, and Elmer's satisfied to tuck it off. Up comes Brinkman. But just looking a bit tired. Maybe this is a chance for the Australians to find a breakthrough. Brinkman again. Sticks firm. Fingered it in, gets a cross in. Carruthers clears well to Elmer. Good control play there. Away they break. Lewis on the ball. Fresh legs, ball pass through. Back to Lewis. Looks square. Wansborough's there. Looks for the inside ball, and it's Davis on a great run inside chance, and he tries to chip the goalie, but that's good goalkeeping. Great try there by Davis. Beautiful run to find space inside. One of the few times he hasn't had an orange shirt tacked to his back this afternoon. But again, Holland come out. Let's have a look at that again. Davis sees the keeper going down, tries to chip him, but he stood upright a little bit, and Smolina's there to clear up. And surprise, Mandelson with the ball. Control in the pace, control in the game. Wick, he's fouled. Stacey's just a little bit rough on him. Umpire Deo says a little too rough. Wick can't believe it, thought it was inside the 25. Out they go, back to Dellison. Dellison looks to thread it. Good play by Vane. Puts it onto Carruthers' feet. Free hit, 5 yards, everybody. There's a good run there. Not taken though, but this man is Brinkman in space. Gap. He's nutmegged the keeper. That is a superb goal, and you can see his delight. How on earth he found space like that? We must see that again. absolutely delighted Dutch team. Brinkman all smiles as he punches the air, and there's a few happy faces there from family and friends and supporters. Really under pressure now, Australia, and we must see how, was it the run, was it bad marking, poor goalkeeping? Well, where was the left half, and how did Brinkman have so much time, and really a goal on the near post like that must be a great disappointment for the keeper. But well taken the Dutch, 1-0 up, and now Australia are really up against it. And as ever, it's Davis who's trying to do it for them, but there's no room, and again the Dutch break. Through Dellison, who else? To Wick, the 20-year-old, great prospect. Tries to find Vane, but Vane's offside. Australia will be happy about that. And again, the ball through Stacey. Stacey drives it long. Picked up. Hager, driving down the right. Throws and chases. The touch off a Dutch stick, but it's outside the 25, says the umpire. And that means a 16-yard hit. That orange back line there again, looking to the 16. Throws a long aerial this time. Received by Stacey. Stacey plays it forward. Birmingham. Out to Lewis. Lewis is robbed. And that's a lovely little touch. Gearis making the run. Going all the way. He's got to the Australian line. Tipped it back inside. Looking for support. Vane with support shot, but it was blocked. Poor marking there, really, by Williams, but he managed to get the tackle in the end. Vane will be disappointed he didn't get the shot in. Watch this marking. Vane got back off the man, he's got space, but Williams does close him down very quickly to block the shot to concede the long corner. Corbett breaks out for Australia, looks wide right. Davis on another of these long runs, carries the ball, tucks it in, he's beaten his man again, looks for the cross, Dummies, pulls it back in. Ball in space, it comes to Corbett. No, it was Lewis, and in fact Lewis has won the penalty corner, he's put the ball back in on the Dutch feet. They'll be disappointed, they've defended that circle exceptionally well. You can see the look of disappointment on their faces. Australia desperately try and get in this game. Lewis who wins them a penalty corner. The question is what can Birmingham do about it? Pushes out. Roll forward. Corbett shoots. Desperate defence. Oh, and the ball falls to Birmingham, who puts it high, wide and mighty. He'll be disappointed. You can see the expression on his face. Ball unexpectedly falls to Warren Birmingham. The dummy shot. Corbett looks to push it forward. Intercepted and skews after Birmingham, who slap flicks it. It's over the top of the goal into the crowd. The Dutch have allowed the Australians very, very few chances, and really Australia have got to start capitalising on one or two of them if they're going to get back into this game. Meanwhile, it's Van Ays, Holland, plays it back, possession across the back. Working it across, giving on the ball, carries it through, drills it into the feet, Wick, takes a free hit, lays it back to Dellison. Dellison controlling the play, happy to slow the pace down. Give it to Dellison, and again, bring it back. That's great. Play the ball around. But there's a good interception. Jay Stacey on the break. Jay Stacey attacking straight down the middle on the 25. The tackle, and again, good defence, good covering defence by the Dutch, as Australia pile the pressure on, desperate to get this equaliser. And the Dutch can't believe that. A seemingly innocuous foot, certainly an accidental foot, but the umpire has no hesitation in giving Australia a penalty corner, and Australia really must take this chance. We're coming into the dying minute. They've had very few chances, and their record at penalty corners is usually fairly good, but it's got to be a lot better than it's been today. They've got the options, they've got the big hitters, they've got the people who can flick, and they've got Hager in there for the rebound, so they must get the shot in on goal. Dellison must do his defence. As Birmingham pushes out, Lewis stops, Stacey shoots, that's a great save. Rebound comes, Hager can't get the shot in, desperate defence as Gebic gets it wide. And now it's Holland on the counter. Usual to see him up here as he attacks the opponent's circle. And Wick loose. My word. Again, loose marking by Australia as Wick finds himself with plenty of room and time to shoot. But again, not on target, and he'll be disappointed. Ball comes across the face. He enters the circle. He's got time for the shot, and he doesn't hit the target, even with two men in there for the rebound. He'll be disappointed. Holland leading 1-0. Dying minutes of the game. Frustration showing on Australia's faces and in their play. They can't get the ball through. They certainly can't get the ball at the goal. Brinkman and Ellison marshalling, keeping possession. Not going to give it away at this stage, and Holland are quite happy to see the ball down in this corner. Elmer quickly wants to get the ball into play. Williams carries it forward. Drives it long. Hager can't get a stop on it. To Wick, who collects the bouncing ball. Elmer comes in. That's a crashing tackle, and he's on the floor as the final whistle goes, and Wick's delight and Elmer's disappointment as he picks himself up, and the Australians have to think of picking themselves up.
Well, a miserly match as far as goals go, and that's unusual for Australia and Holland. They've played some high-scoring thrillers in the past. Not on this occasion, though, and the Dutch deserving the 1-0 win, Jackie Brinkman supplying the only goal. All teams have now played 2 games. Germany and the Netherlands have maximum points. Australia and Malaysia are 1-1, while Pakistan will be embarrassed to find themselves in the cellar with Spain. Nothing less than an emphatic win was expected by Kookaburra's coach Frank Murray when his boys took on the Spaniards in the first game of day 4. The more goals, the better for Australia, because goal difference could count when they sort out the top 4. It's back to Tun Razak Stadium and Ian Taylor.
Hager with a pushback, and he'll be looking for some goals today, as I'm sure the whole Australian side will. He passes back to Elmer, looking down this right side for an early break. The Spanish will want to emulate the Dutch and keep pressure on. Brothers quickly up. Feeds the ball through. Elmer ducks under through the Spanish defence, gets the free hit. Still driving down this right to Davis, who cracks it across. Oh my word, that was close. Lewis coming in from the far side, and really Australia have showed their intentions right from the off here. Everybody a little disappointed with their performance yesterday, but I think they're out to make amends. Spain will obviously want to contain the ball. They want to slow it down a bit. Play much more the European game. Again, down the Australian right side through Elmer. He's in inside, one through in the middle, nobody marking him in space, and the shot has gone in. Unbelievable. Doubt if Wandsworth can believe the space he's got here. He collects the ball, the Spanish just seem to pass in front of him as he collects it. And then as he crosses into the circle, he hits a seemingly innocuous shot, not a real power driver. Good shot, but the keeper should have had that. And it goes straight past the hand. 1-0 to Australia in the opening minute. They'll be pleased with that. Spain obviously won't, and they'll want to get back into contention. The European game, where they'll want to hold the ball, they'll want to stop these fast-running Australian forwards, and then probe at the Australian defence, find a few chinks, and they found one here as they attack the circle to the centre, to Boss Street. Good save again. Oh, he seems to drop his stick there. So there's a chance. Straight back from Spain, from one end to the other. And Arnaud seems to have dropped his stick right in front of goal. Williams takes a 16-yard hit. Feeds it out quickly. Davis on the right, all the way across to the far left. Lewis picks up, puts it to the 25. Crosses Wandsworth. Again, Australians full commitment as they throw themselves at the ball. And I'm sure Wandsworth will be wanting to get his name on the score sheet more than the one. Good crowd here today. Spain wanting to control the pace. It's in their goal threatened 3 times already, but I'm sure they'll want to have a little go at Australia. They've lost, and confidence may well be down. Tackling back by Jay Stacey. They hit Spain. Usoff carries it down the left. Brings it back inside. Typically European, control the ball. Try and find the crack. Feed it through. The boss finds space, shoots. Yeah, great save, tips it round. Super goalkeeping there. Kobos was one of those snapshots of his, but Grayer was man to it and tipped it round for a long corner. Short ball in. Both skills. Too close for Australia. That's the third feet and that's a penalty corner. That's good news for Spain. They'll be pushing the ball out. Struck. Plays. High, but the umpire says no, it's not too high. Good defence by Australia. They'll be glad to see that out. Especially with a 1-0 lead, they're confident they need to be attacking the goal. Who Davis, they're attacking now. Across. Hagar finds space, but not too long. Long corner. Good to see 4 Australian shirts in that circle when the cross coming across. That's got to be good news for them. Davis strikes it in. Stacey's robbed. Full hit. Quickly in. Ball's up. Umpire pulls it all back. Hager again there on the pad. Stacey goes to take the free kick. Umpire pushes them back to the closest circle. Davis on the ball. Strikes it. Ball comes through. Spain pick up, but it's only as far as Birmingham, and he looks to go at that circle again. Feeds the ball through. Stacey. To Wandsworth shoot. Saved, and it's horrible Hager there. Sharp as ever on those pads. Picks up the rebound. Congratulated by Stacey. Perhaps keeper Gomez made a bit of a meal of that. Let's look, another shot from the top of the circle. Really, he should have made more of that, the keeper. If he had just brought it down onto his foot and cleared it. But he didn't, and that's 2-0, and Hager will be happy. Get his name on the score sheet there. Elmer. Playing it square. Carey under the arm, that's nicely. Again, it's Wandsworth. Looking to cross the ball, nobody on the end. Marcosa, absolutely. Another long corner. Sign of constant pressure by the Australians on the Spanish circle. And yet another one. They'd far rather have it up to them, but this is where Australia want it. But they really want to get a few results. So Williams puts a crack at the cross. Good touch, but touch wide. The Spanish are relieved to see the pressure go off there. But Wandsworth runs back. Crowd enjoying this match, but I'm sure they'd want to see a few more goals. Picked up. Carey. Plays the ball through. To Hager. Hager looking to beat the Spaniards. In close. Drives strong. No way through there though. Spaniards, 3 Australians. Davis on the far side. Strikes to the cross. All cares in space, shoots. And it's through the keeper Gomez again. 3-0 to Australia. And I'm sure that they can't believe their luck. That's 3 shots from the top of the circle, and all 3 have beaten the keeper. Super play by Australia. Product of their pressure, but how did he find the space in the circle to be shot? And really, how did that shot, which isn't that dangerous, get in? Second half started, Spain attacking the goal to their left. But no room through those gold shirts as the pass running forward, counter-attack. Hager feeds it out wide. Bodimir collects. Into the Spanish 25, into the circle, down the line. Bodimir still on the ball. Ball 3, Hager picks up, and there he is again, that man. The danger man on the rebound. Great run by Bodimir, made it all the way in. But at the end, when the ball squirted out, it was Hager that was there on the end of it. And that makes it 4-0. Australia, always dangerous when they get into that position. Spaniards is be asking, why was he allowed to run so far? Hager's not asking any questions. He's controlled by Australia, dominating the midfield. Stacey and Lewis working well. Lewis attacks the circle, still in control, comes away with the ball. Hand up. Same in the penalty corner, and there's a dejected Spanish side as they walk back there. 4 goals down already, but having to face an Australian corner. Birmingham pitches out. Lewis stops. Flick. Good save by the keeper. That'll build his confidence. It will need building. He's had 4 put past him. Not the best day for Gomez. Corbett knocks it across, left by the keeper. But a little touch off the Spaniard, obviously. Long corner to Australia. Stacey comes across to thump it in. One of the hardest hitters in the game at the moment. Lines up, picks his spot, crashes it across. Good crowd here, well supported. Spaniards trying to get back into the game. Yusuf making a good run. Ignacio picking up. Switching it right well there. Xavier Escude working well on the right, normally central midfield. Escude again comes over to collect it. No, he's taking the sideline ball. Good close skills. Ball's crossed. Yusuf posted. Shoots. The Kobos. Strikes it. It's under Dreher. That's a good goal by the Spaniards. Loose marking really there. Question really, why was the man free to get the shot? There, Australians, as we'll see, on the line. Jay Stacey defending the line, but why wasn't he picking up the man who made the shot? Brave attempt by Dreher, but nothing he could do about it. And that is 4-1. Well, that'll avert Australia to have conceded a goal, and Greg Corbett wants to get back up, get another one in. Good aerial ball, diagonal aerial ball, well intercepted by the Spanish defence. Body meet to safety, plays it under. Taking Duff, played well since he's come on. It's Hager, Hager chips, it's up. Oh, the umpire's given a penalty corner. Good chip by Hager there, but the ball came up off the keeper and he was a bit unlucky to have conceded the penalty. Nothing he'd done wrong, but that's the umpire's decision. And the question is which of the options? Is it going to be that Corbett flick? Or maybe we'll see Stacey strike? Or maybe we'll see one of these other options? And no doubt, whatever it is, Hager will be on the end of it. Birmingham, quickly out. Stop. Hit by Stacey, it's in. Got a little touch, it's gone in high, but umpire's absolutely certain Stacey jogs back. The great strike. The Army's paying close attention to that. I don't think they'd be wanting to stop too many of those. Spaniards bravely trying to come back. 5-1 down, it's too far to come, I feel, but working the ball around, trying to get pattern to their game, and trying to make the opportunity. A bit of attack to the middle, and that's a lovely touch by Kobos. Ignacio comes in, shoots. A good save by Dreher, good defence, good cover. Lachlan Elmer there, taking clearing off the pads. Good teamwork by the Australians. And the Spaniards really quite dejected. They'll really be looking to keep their system, keep their pattern, and certainly they'll be looking to get a little more effective from some of these opportunities. Judy inside, it's driven across. That's on a leg, and Baghdadi gives a penalty corner. Elmer asks the question why. As the Australian defenders come back, Williams to the post. Dreher sets himself. Not the sort of practice Australia wants. And quickly comes out. It's struck, Malcoza. Good clearance by Duff. Still with Spain. Kobos has a shot, but well wide. Duff, he's played well his first game here. Made a big impression, particularly on the Spanish centre forward, who's had nothing to the game. No way through there. Spaniards again, try come round. Xavier Escude. Kobos, great skills, individual skills, good run. Solid wall of defence. Through Birmingham, Australia counter. To Corbett. Long ball through. Wansford chases, yes, he follows up. Oh my word, Wansford couldn't believe it either. Ball hit the post, keeper covered it. Whistle's gone, but I'm sure Wansford would have felt he was obstructed there. Spain going right to the end. Australia 5, Spain 1. It could have been a lot more, but I'm sure Australia will be happy with that. Certainly with the points they will. As Escude picks the ball up, final whistle goes, and good finish.
A heartening performance from Australia, slotting in 5, and another couple in there from our #1 scorer at international level, Mark Hager, or Horrible as he's universally known. Next, the host nation Malaysia found themselves in against the Olympic champions and tournament favourites Germany. This is Malaysia's first venture into Champions Trophy hockey, but having already beaten the more highly ranked Spain, they've shown they're not out of their depth in this company, although Germany should have their measure.
The German machine rolled on. 4-1 was the result. However, penalty corners played their important role. The man at the end of it was, of course, Mikel. A flick, hard, it was low, it gave Lopez no chance. Typically German, typically efficient, typical of the game. Mikel dragged, flicks it in, nobody could contend with him, Lopez can get nowhere near it. No, it's not a replay. It happens to be another of those German penalty corners. And Mikel at the end of it again. This time, he flicks high, Lopez this time gets a hand to it, but can't stop the pace of it, and that's another German goal, another one for Mikel. Crowds, well, they weren't exactly enjoying it, although there were some great opportunities for the Malaysians to show great skill and opportunity. But the Germans, they slapped everything whenever they got the chance. Sergeant Singh, well, he played a very important role yet again, but it was the free running Zarnis and Hardy that created havoc, and only if they take the chances. Chow Chan was fouled, penalty stroke. Well, you know when Chow Chan gets fouled, he gets the penalty stroke, he gets to take it. Clearly had his stick taken by the Germans, and when Chow came up to take the stroke, now it's just stood up for him. The result? Now headed it away. Oh well, there's not being big-headed unless you stop it with it. Disappointing for Malaysia. Had the opportunities, didn't put it away. Whereas Germany, who contained the game, picked their moments, and when they did have the moments, they converted them. Blunt as ever, playing a dominant role as captain, feeding the ball about. Great skills, great individual skills, more importantly team skills, and the finish, well, that's absolutely superb. Goal figure, finishes it off, very simple, but almost effective. Malaysia, you would think, would get dejected at this point, 3 goals down, but they showed real spirit despite the German celebrations and kept trying to come back, but failed to put it in. And when Holsteiner threw up this enormous great aerial, it was Wardhorse that picked it up. Individual skills again, lovely little reverse for the half volley, touched it inside, through the keeper's leg, and sinks to his knees in disappointment. 4 goals, great German skills. Look at this, reverse stick, gets it up into the air, and just slips it on the half volley. Thank you very much. This is their hobby. Towards the end of the game, Malaysia did get their just rewards. Came from a penalty corner. They've had a lot of chances. This one, with Ramos pushing out, stopped, driven in by Zani, and Nawawi there picked up a superb rebound. If only they'd taken through all the chances. Created some beautiful opportunities, didn't convert them. This time it did. And what's Nawawi here? Quick in, sees the ball, and that's for him.
Bjorn Michel picking up another 2 goals in the 4-1 result. Malaysia again restricted to converting a penalty stroke, as they did against the Dutch. Pakistan, as yet without a win, met Holland in the last game of day 4.
It's going to be a tight game. The winners, of course, very important for Holland. It will put them on 6 points also. But it's Pakistan who start with the attack. Shabazz leading through his captain. A super tackle there by David. It should be a bit of desperate defence as Rose goes to take the long corner. Highly motivated Pakistan today. 3rd game, and they want to get some points on the board. Rose, Shabazz back in his favourite inside left position, working closely together. And he'll be happy to play there. With Khan on the inside right. Rose with a free hit. Crosses. Stopped by Brinkman. So whether it's calling Brinkman or Rose's shadow, seems to be following him everywhere. Denied. Played across is the man. The man on the right, looking to thread the ball. It's 6 feet. Oof! There's a bit physical there. So the umpire will have a word to say about that as the man quickly gets taken again. Again, that is whip speed. Ball's taken quickly. There's some superb individual skills. And it's stuck under a large Lucy. Penalty corner. We're just asking umpire Walter why. I'm quite happy to accept the shot, with the exception of Khan, who I think wanted to stroke, probably because he's the person that's going to take him. It's the same, push out. United stop, Kelly back there with hit. Strike, and he strikes it straight in. Oh, and it seems to have gone straight through the legs of the goalkeeper. He slumps the ground with disappointment. As Khalid Bakir runs back. Hussein with a good push out. Stop side denied. Khalid Bakir strikes it just through that gap in the pad. In previous matches, Holland has really imposed their style of play on the opposition, but today it's really Pakistan's turn. They've controlled it, they've set the style, and that has been a half counter-attack, but also with a certain change of emphasis on possession of the ball, not pure attack. Delicate, desperately looks to try and probe the defence. Van Aide can only carry it back. Van Pelt, again, tends to be going back. Van Aide sees it through, looking for Delicate, doesn't find him. Khan collects the ball, the new inside right, runs from right to left, down to the left wing, turns. Oh, that's a lovely little touch. Again, looks, feeds it through the inside. The draft can't pick up. As Holland desperately whacks the ball away. But again, Pakistan collects and looks to counter-attack. Hussein on the far side, controlling the play. This is the man, over the top, the man looking back for Hussein. A draft picked up, Hussein with the ball. There's Yazet used his feet there, but it's a free hit. Good attack by Pakistan. Hussein is the man together. Play short. Back to Hussein. Gets the cross, it's up off Trent. Ashraf, and Ashraf's got it in. And he's pleased to see his name on the score sheet. And I must admit, I think that's the first mistake I've seen Trent make, and how unfortunate he has to pay for it with a goal. Absolutely delighted Pakistan crowd, that's for me to see. As we see Hussein's cross, it comes up off Trent's stick, and before goalkeeper Bart Lucy can make it, Pakistan on the way up. They hope so. This is their third game and they really need a win. Whereas Holland need to get back into it. A win against Australia yesterday meant they had 4 points. A win today would have put them on level terms with Germany. They also want to get that character and style that they showed yesterday and really haven't allowed to show today. Not the same team. Another long area from Yazet. Picked up at the back. And Bashir, United working together. Bashir to strike. Long ball. Diving, throwing themselves around, fully committed. Not making a lot of progress on the halfway line. Van Pelt to Dellison. Dellison controls, looks forward, tries to feed it through but can't. And then he picks it up to Shabazz. Shabazz through to Khan. Khan to Ashraf. Ashraf cracks it in. That's 2 on the row for him and 3 for Pakistan. Pakistan 3, Holland 0. And congratulations go to Ashraf there. That was a good team move, good interpassing, good interplay. But Ashraf getting on the end of it. And Pakistan will be pleased to see their centre forward giving his name on the score sheet. That can only be good news for them. What's that again? A good little one touch here by Khan. Sets Ashraf up perfectly, sending Bart Lucy the wrong way, and he just drives it low into the bottom corner. Meanwhile, Hussein cracks it forward. Ashraf pestering Yazet to Drent. Passing not quite as good, but his legs are getting tired. Pakistan come into their element. Through Shabazz. Those silky skills, but not quite there. But the counter-attack comes through Dellison, who as always lays it off to Winkler. Both have been tired today from their exertions yesterday, or the way that they've had to play. Either way, they haven't been able to make the influence on the game that they would have liked. Molinard to Wick. Gearis. Good skills by Gearis. Through Mahmood. Still got the ball. Still driving. Fouled and Walters has play on. But he feeds it through to Veen. Veen screens it wide, and having done all the hard work, lets the reverse stick slip. He's got past his man, he sets himself up to the reverse stick, and then squirts it wide, and he'll be very disappointed with that. But good counter pressure by Holland. One of the few chances they've had. It's really been Pakistan's day today. And they'll have been very disappointed because I'm sure they were confident they could have won this. But their counter-attack again. Into the Pakistan circle. The ball's driven across. On Mahmood's foot, and umpire Walter pulls up the penalty corner. Last chance really for Holland to start getting back into this game. They've got very few chances and they really have to start converting. Shahid Ali Khan with a little to do. Brinkman pushes out. Stop. 1-2. Dellison pushes Brinkman, and that's a great goal. Appeals from Zaman there for offside. Brinkman takes no notice, nor does Dellison. Celebration. Good 1-2 between Dellison. Feeds it through to Brinkman, who finishes it off simply. But unfortunately, it's all a little bit too late. And Pakistan celebrate with a 3-1 win.
Well, that result would have shocked and disappointed the Netherlands, but it has opened up a possible path to the final for Australia. Germany look to be on their way to the title decider with 3 wins. Australia sits ahead of the Netherlands now on goal difference, while Spain should have the wooden spoon wrapped up, already having lost to Malaysia. Please join me again tomorrow night when we continue our coverage of the Champions Trophy from Kuala Lumpur with 2 games that will certainly affect Australia's finals chances. Spain against the Netherlands and a repeat of the Olympic final, Australia against Germany. I'm Steve Rebilliard for ABC Sport. Goodbye for now. We'll have the final, but first, the battle to get there. Germany is assured of one place, but the other is up for grabs between Australia and the Netherlands. First of all, Australia takes on Malaysia and needs a healthy-sized win to keep a good goal average. Then, if they've done their part, the Kookaburras will be hoping Germany beat the Dutch to allow Australia into the big one. Malaysia are no easy beats, having defeated Spain and drawn with Pakistan. They're coached by former Australian international Terry Walsh. Let's see how they tackle his old team. In commentary again is former England keeper Ian Taylor at the Tun Razak Stadium in Kuala Lumpur.
Good crowd here to support Malaysia. 5 performances, well supported, vocally and using a few instruments, and Malaysia giving their best. We pick the game up with Hardy attacking down the right. Elmer makes a tackle, but Hardy goes through. Gets a cross in, and the goalkeeper happily leaves it. Showing their intention not to succeed to the Australians, Malaysia are going to give it as good as they get. As Birmingham feeds the ball through to Lewis. Lewis, hair flowing, streaks down the right wing, takes it a bit wider, opens the defence, round Sergeant Singh, looks for the cross. A few of Australian forwards, but it's Davis to get the shot in, and that's another one off the goal. Great disappointment for the Australians, and I'm sure they'll be wanting to correct that. Mr. Daly takes it to Chan. Chan plays it wide, Charles David. Looks for the aerial, nice aerial, over the halfway line. Chased by Hardy and Zani, captain. Tucked in under the arm, Chan picks up the loose ball. Moving the ball around well, Malaysia. Out wide to Nuawi, star so far. 3 goals to his credit and turned the Australian defence there. Gets a free hit and fish to the top. That's an open opportunity. Chan strike. Just a leg, penalty corner, says Richard Walter. And the pressure with Malaysia at the moment. They'll be pleased with that. An opportunity for the captain to show his striking power. Ramu pushed out. Chan stops. It's struck. It's straight through the goalkeeper, Lachlan Dreyer. 1-0 to Malaysia. That's against the form box. You can see Sergeant Singh's delight. But this is a lovely clean strike. It goes through the goalkeeper's pads. He'll be disappointed. And Australia will certainly have their work cut out now as Birmingham attacks the circle, tries to feed the ball through. Solid wall of blue says no, not coming through there. Chan carries forward. Feeds through to the wing. Hardy carries it, attacking the Australian circle. With close attention of Jay Stacey and Lachlan Elmer. Good rob, and the Australians' dangerous point counter-attacking. With Wansborough carrying it forward. Nice touch. Goes into the empty circle, open space, Hager. That's a beautiful goal made by Wansborough, but finished by horrible Hager this time with deadly precision. Let's see that again. Wansborough's made the room by attacking right into the circle, past Sargent, which gives Hager that extra yard, and the precision accuracy as the ball goes in off the inside post. Malaysia 1, Australia 1. Chan with the ball, under pressure from 2 Australian forwards. squirts out to Sargent. Looking to thread it through. Looking through the angles. Again, robbed by the Australians. Lewis feeds it through for Stephen Davis. Davis with room, looks inside, looks at the goal, and cracks a beautiful goal. And shows his satisfaction by punching the air. He must have had half a dozen of those in his last match and missed the target. That time, he made no mistake whatsoever. Looked inside to see where the pass was, looked at the goal, decided he'd got the room, got the angle, and hits a beautiful shot inside the far post. 2 shots out of 2 for Australia. They'll be a lot happier with that. And Australia continue to pile the pressure on. Davis feeding the ball through to Lewis, running at the circle. Has the shot. Good defence by Fidelis. Gets the touch. Concedes the long corner, but he'll be a lot happier to see that go off the sideline than in the back of the net. Stout defence by Malaysia, but they're really under pressure now. Tall Todd Williams comes up to strike it in. Hits it hard along the sideline. Straight off. Coach Terry Walsh there urging his players on. Advising tactics. Need to get this goal back. Again, Australia seems to have the squeeze. 2 or 3 yellow shirts around each blue one. Lewis brings it back through the middle, through Birmingham. Quickly feeds it down the middle to nobody. Sargent now, looking to counter. Lovely little aerial. Can't be controlled though. Now it's Greg Corbett for Australia. And Wandsworth. Wandsworth again attacking the circle. Great save, but it's horrible Hager. We've said he's the sharpest on the rebound, and he proves it again there. Wandsworth gets a shot in. A good save by Padfield, but horrible Hagar is only a yard away, and as that ball comes out into the back of the net, Australia 3, Malaysia 1. Carruthers carrying the ball forward. More confidence from the Australians now. They've got a 2-goal buffer. Malaysia started well, but they've lost their way a bit, and Australia have punished them for it. They've given it back together again through Zini, leading the way, gets 3 hits just outside the circle. Need to start capitalising on a few opportunities, winning a few more penalty corners. Zini hit them, and he hit them very well. Also calls 5 yards. Slipped in. Elmer covers. Zini tracks across. Into Graham clears. Pressure on the back. Again, Elmer tries to put the cap. Wandsworth hits long. Long to nobody. Opportunity now for Malaysia. Starting to gain a little bit of ascendancy. Charles David spreading the ball around well. Not giving possession away. That's where the Australians are best. When they can capitalise on loose possession on your part. Their speed in the counter-attack. Chan. Good control. Kareem. Good work between Chan and Kareem, but couldn't control, and this is where Australia are dangerous. Counter-attacking. Brings it back to the middle, Birmingham. Looks for the support. Carruthers feeds it forward to Lewis. Lewis tucks it in. Still got the ball. Good dummy by Hager. Good cover. A little bit of a scramble there. A little bit of a let-off goalkeeper Padfield there. From Malaysia. Let's get some one of these. Getting the ball. But again, Australia make the snatch and counter-attack at speed. Birmingham to Wandsworth. Wandsworth carries it yet again. It goes round David. Again finds space for Hager. Hager reverse stick. Not as good as his previous finish, but he's got a long corner. And the Australian pressure keeps on. Knocked across with a shot. But half-time whistle goes. 3-1. Australia, we're relatively satisfied with that. We pick up in the second half. It's hardy attacking for Malaysia. Malaysia to Ghani. Just what we were talking about. The Australians counter-attacking and robbing. All the way down to Davis on the line. Back to the cross. Loose, that's a good save. 3 again for Wandsworth, and a good desperate defence there by Kareem as he gets the touch to concede the long corner. Wandsworth a little bit disappointed. Like to get some more shots. See that again, a lovely cross by Davis. Falls to Hager. That's a good save by Padfield. Look at the number of Australians in that circle. Stacey drags it along. The first touch off David. Umpire Walter says that hit a leg. Malaysian players look on in disbelief. And more fear of what's to come. They know how Stacey hits the ball. They also know that the options of Hager or maybe Corbett to flick. Warren Birmingham quickly pushes out. Stop. Stacey does strike. That's a good save by Fadzil. The ball's dropped free. Davis has picked up the rebound off Corbett's shot, and that's surprising. Normally in a situation like that, as you see the ball comes out, Corbett tries to flick, saved again, the ball flies into the air, and I suppose umpire Walter saying, well, that's not dangerous to anybody. He hasn't splashed at it, he just finally put it away, and that makes the score 4-1 to Australia. Disappointing for Malaysia, as Australia again, 5 forwards, winning as a team. Through ball to Davis. Goes round the keeper and the defenders along the byline, looking to finish. Puts it into the side. Great defence by Fidelis. Quite a good performance by Malaysia, but they keep giving the ball away a little too often. As we see there, Wandsworth made the snatch on Sargent. Wandsworth attacks the D. Fidelis slides in, almost goalkeeper style, and umpire Walter has no hesitation. That's a deliberate foul outside the circle. That's a penalty corner. Birmingham pushes out. Stop. Stacey strikes. Rebound. Hager and Birmingham. Birmingham finishes off, but umpire Walter disallows, I think, for offside. Much to the delight of the crowd. Elmo again. Good cover. Malaysia. Get one of these goal sides. Quick attack. Wow. That's hard in the middle there. Good touch and a good clearance by the goalkeeper. Greer, no problem with that kick. Umpire Lathouse has already blown for the free hit just outside the circle. Nawari comes close. Good close individual skills. Penalty corner, he puts it onto a foot. Much to cheer and delight. But will they put it away as Ramu pushes out? Stop. Good strike. Sub off. Oh, we've just seen one of those earlier in the match. The ball's come up off the keeper, hit the crossbar, and as the Malaysian goes to just tap it in, the umpire's blown him up for dangerous play. We saw an Australian goal identical to that only a few minutes ago. It's been consistent there. Players will be disappointed with that as Birmingham sets up another Australian attack. Lewis. Hager's got room. Hager's well taken by Fadzil. A little bit of desperation in the Malaysian attack. Can they kick this pace up? Certainly Australia will want to. They like the defence and the fast counter-attack game. Malaysia really needs to keep the stick on the ball. Good play by Hardy. Works to 1-2. Down the line. Free hit. Quickly supported by Fernandez. Now it's Ramu. Gets it onto the foot. Stacey can't believe it. Takes his head. Crashes across. And that's Jason Duff's foot. And the umpire's given a penalty corner. He smiles. He knows what happened. No argument from Australia. Disappointed with themselves. Birmingham has a long conversation on the subject. Umpire says, let's get on with it. So Malaysia will want to do that. Will it be Zaini on one of his strikes? In. The strike, it squirted through. That's a great goal for Malaysia. Again, the power of Zaina's strike, carrying the ball through. A desperate lunge on the line. The ball cleanly stopped. Nice roll and beautifully. Squeezed between the two pads of the goalkeeper. And nothing that Williams can do on the line will keep it out. Australia 4, Malaysia 2. Malaysia still looking for that extra goal. Final buzzer goes.
A pretty good hit out for the Australians, and although they might have been happier with 5 or 6, they achieved the win they needed to give themselves a chance of making the final. Now it's all down to how the Netherlands go against Germany. A win or a draw will see the Dutch through to the final, but a German victory allows Australia through to meet their Olympic conquerors. With fingers crossed that Holland aren't in the form that saw them shut out Australia earlier in the tournament, we go back to Kuala Lumpur.
Everything for Holland to do is Captain Dellison, exactly what they intended, right from the off. Good start. So Van der Hanert fully fit now. Playing a centre-forward role, but often switches with the midfield, watches Silky Skills, probably the fastest dribbler in the game at the moment. Vane, right down deep. Brinkman crashes it across, and that's a penalty corner, much to the delight of Saka van der Hennet. The reason for that is his supporters all cheer, he flicks them. Brinkman pushes out, Ellison stops, Van der Hennet flicks, and that's a brilliant save right now. He's played some very good games, and he looks like he can have one of those today. But again, Holland mounts the pressure, keep in possession. There's Molinars and Gebbing. Gebbing's not going to give that ball away. He knows what the Germans do to teams that give it away. Van Pelt, same side, from left to right. Dellison, always coming in support. Close attention of Meyerhofer. Laced off to Gebbing again. Gebbing keeps the ball. Moisel hassling. Gebbing attacks 25. That's lovely skills into the circle. Puts it under for the foot and the penalty corner. That's good patient play by Holland. Typically European, controlling the pace of the ball, crossing the gap, running into it, and winning the penalty corner. The question mark is Van der Hennet again now. Van der Hennet this time slips a 1-2 and he's finishing this time. Now he's looking in the top corner. Van der Hennet, meanwhile, is looking down the bottom. Beautiful little 1-2 work here. Everybody expecting a direct shot. Played with Drent. Drent plays back into Van der Hennet's pass, and when everybody's going up for the high flick, tucks into the bottom. Holland 1, Germany 0. And that will really set things going as Stengler throws a long aerial. Picked up by Waldhauser. Close attention by Josette, and that's a penalty corner. Cruz on the tackle there. Great disappointment, anticipation. They know what Germany do from penalty corners. Waldhauser will actually push out. It'll be Blunt to hit. Blunt to flick. He's flicked and he's found the net. He's dragged it in a good 6 or 7 yards there, finishes off. Germany 1, Holland 1. Question mark here, how did he manage to get so far in, how close to the goal before he had to flick, and he just had to pick his spot, and that he did with precision. Germany again, mounting pressure, men in support. Fast forward, I think there's one of them. Meyerhofer in support. Another penalty corner, and that would be great disappointment from Holland. Complaint from Josette, he's saying, no, it just came off the stick. Umpire Donald Pryor has no hesitation. Anticipation in the Dutch crowd. Will it be Blunt again? Oh, that's a super save. I mentioned the save earlier from now for Bart Luigi. There's made an equally brilliant save from Mikkel's flick. Brilliant bit of goalkeeping. Ball's cracked across and nobody can get a stick on it. That's speed, I'm not surprised. End-to-end stuff. Dellison. Van Pelt. Eager to keep the ball. Saka van der Hennet. Oh, he's got his leg pulled from under. Got the free hit though. Nancy Deo, one of the best umpires in the world at the moment. Brinkman takes the free hit. Gives it to Saka van Hennet. Again tries to find a way through. Two Germans. Schroeder, one of them. This time Brinkman, I think, looking to have a strike. Back to the cross, and Vane's got a touch, and that's a brilliant goal. Left nice with no chance whatsoever. Ladies reversed it down. Question mark from the umpire. Yes, the umpire Deo has confirmed it. Brinkman cracked it behind the defence. Vane's ladies reversed it down and just re-steered the ball. Holland 2, Germany 1. They're certainly going for it, and that's the pressure now on Germany. Brinkman gets across the Green. Green pushes in. Again, controlling the ball. Looking to prospect, but not to give the ball away. Stengler plays it back. Driven hard down the middle, and that's beautifully picked up. Great run by Schaefer. Won the penalty corner. Back of the six, says umpire Donald Pryor. And they'll have to be quick about taking this. We're in the last few seconds of the half. Stengler goes to push out. A lot of time wasting going on, and umpire Pryor stops the clock. He knows how close we are to half-time whistle. Driven out. It's Mikkel. He's hit it, and it's squeezed through Bart Luigi. That's disappointing for Holland. Great excitement. Congratulations all round from the German players. As the half-time whistle goes, that will be desperately disappointing. What a body blow for Holland. 2-1 up, going into half-time with a lead. Suddenly it's snatched from them by Michael. A draw will be good enough for Holland. A draw would never be good enough for Germany. I've never known a German team satisfied with a draw. The crowd are delighted to see 1 point, because with 1 point, that means Holland will be playing in the final. But I'm sure as we join the game in the second half, Germany will be pressing fully home for a win. They don't like conceding, especially to their close neighbours. And that's a poor ball by Van Eyde. Picked up well. Tackle on the top of the circle. 3 hits. Blunk up there. Centre back, look at him, he's on the opposing circle. Leading his team. Pushes the ball square. Schroeder slips out to Ness. Ness drives it into the circle. Moisel gets a touch onto it. A little touch onto Trent's foot. Santideo gives a penalty corner. And anxiety on the Dutch supporters' faces. Will it be Mikkel? Will it be Blunk? Mikkel with a strike, Blunk with a flick. Mikkel, no, it slipped to Blunk. Blunk carries it in, picks his spot. That's a goal. 3-2. Germany 3, Holland 2. Let's see that again. Michael looks like he's going to flip. Dummies the man. Blunk carries it in. The question mark is who should have picked Blunk up. Nobody did. And that's the way it stayed right up to the final whistle, although Holland did have their chances. Several of them, but couldn't convert. This one through Wick. Stopped outside the 25. Typically German. Get men back behind the ball. Wick eager to get on. The whole Dutch team were eager to get on. Cracked the ball across. Bain was one of those touches again, and believe it or not, off the post. Desperately unlucky. The crowd were rushing forward to congratulate him. All thought it was in. And then, in the very last minute, this chance for Wick. He put the goal away, but the umpire's whistle was already gone for offside. But the Holland players knew full well that 3-2 down wasn't going to be good enough. The most that could earn them was a chance to play for bronze against Pakistan. The game itself was typically European, lots of exciting attacks. Both sides know each other well, know how the style, know the tactics, play the possession game and counter-attack at speed. Even Germany, right up to the last minute, winning as they were giving it their all. They had a penalty corner, they didn't have the opportunity to convert it. And a few seconds later, the final hooter went. That was the end of Holland's dream. They thought they'd made it. Germany, unbeaten, dominated the full matches so far.
The Dutch there suffering the same fate as Australia when they played Germany. Chances are plenty, but few put away. They led 1-0 and 2-1, and even the 2-2 scoreline at half-time would have satisfied the Netherlands, but Christian Blunk's winner gets Australia through to the final on goal difference. The final round-robin game was between Pakistan and Spain. Except for their surprise win over the Netherlands, Pakistan have been at less than their best, but on paper look a superior team to the Spaniards.
Spain were determined not to concede territory, and that attack was the best form of defence. Led there by Escude, as ever. What Pakistan is? Good covering. But Kabos gets the first shot, and they can be grateful to Shahid Ali Khan in goal for saving the bacon. Pakistan, solid in defence, but the speed of the counter-attack. But we can see Kabos has found room, slips his man, rounds the man, and the shot's gone right inside the corner before Shahid Ali Khan tips it round. Pressure was kept up. Pakistan constantly looking through Shabazz, their captain, to counter-attack. And at speed, and look at this speed. Ashraf eventually snatches the ball, tips it past 2 defenders, turns up on a sixpence, slips it under the goalkeeper. 1-0, thank you very much. It has been all Spain to that moment, but Pakistan won through the skill of Ashraf. Reverse stick shot, no, I'll turn, swivel it under, and that goes under the goalkeeper. Good goal, but highly disappointing for Spain. Into the second half, and the Spanish got more and more tired, and the Pakistan attacks got more and more fluent. Led here by Zaman. Looking to feed through to his winger, but crosses the ball hard. The free hit, penalty corner given. And to date we've seen a lot of attempts in Pakistan, but Khalid Bashir's put a few away. Can he put this one away? Big number 3. Comes in, strikes. That's a beautiful hit. Over goalkeeper Fraser, but still hits the backboard. That's a perfect hit in his mind. The push out, denied with a stop. He clips it down into the turf. It rises just over the keeper, but dips enough to hit the backboard. And that's 2-0. Well, throws did come on, and he did get the chance to show his skill. Didn't get the better of the Spanish defence, and question marks were asked about, will we be seeing throws in the next tournament? Iglesias, however, was determined that Spain weren't going to give up without a fight. But you can't give the ball away, and you certainly can't give it to Shabazz. Because when Shabazz carries it, he keeps it on the end of his stick. He kept it on the end of his stick. When he thought of passing it, maybe there'd been another goal. Great skill, but it's a team game, and Shabazz there, very disappointed, and I'm sure Ashraf was just as disappointed he didn't get the ball. He's beaten these defenders once, he's come back to show them he can do it twice. He's overrun it, and third-party obstruction, says umpire Lafferty. Pakistan continue to dominate. Individual efforts here by Yusuf of Spain, to little avail. Pakistan clear winners, 2-0.
2-0 to Pakistan in a game that wasn't going to affect which playoff match they found themselves in on the last day. Let's check the table after all round-robin games have been played. Germany, maximum points after 5 wins. Australia second on goal difference, and they'll be glad they knocked in 5 against Spain and 4 against Malaysia. Holland then squeezed back to third, ahead of Pakistan, with Malaysia and Spain to meet in the playoff for 5th and 6th. That's the match we'll go to now. Earlier in the week, Spain suffered a surprise loss to Malaysia, 2-1, but it's this encounter that will decide their final standings.
The 8 a.m. start certainly didn't upset Malaysia, who shot 2 goals in front, both from penalty corners, the second seen here. Ramu pushes out, Hardy stops, captain Zaini writes it in. Beautifully clean, 2-0 to Malaysia. Smooth action, Ramu out, the ball stops, roll forward to Zaini, and that's the second goal. A 2-goal lead, and Malaysia seems to be going well. And then Spain, through Cabos and his skill, cracked the ball across. Goalkeeper, terrible error, and Xavianu picked up the rebound, 2-1. Lopez, well, lost the ball under his feet, and Arnu picked it up. Spain had only scored 2 goals in the whole tournament, but their second in this match wasn't long in coming. Arnu, speculative cross. Lopez, terrible mistake, leaves it 2-2, and it proceeded 5-2 to Spain. Malaysia really on the rocks. Lopez's mistakes at the cross. But Malaysia got a consolation goal in the very last minute of the game to make the final score 5-3 to Spain.
Well, defence went out the window there in that 5-3 win to Spain, and that's a disappointing end to the tournament for the host nation, because they finished well above Spain after the qualifying rounds. Malaysia end up 6th, Spain 5th. Well, now to the Netherlands and Pakistan in the playoff for 3rd and 4th. This could be a test of spirit for the Dutch, who missed making the final so narrowly and who lost to Pakistan during the week. But if both sides play up to their undoubted ability, this could be a goal feast.
We picked the match up early in the first half, with Holland determined not to let the Pakistan forwards overrun, and certainly trying to get their forwards away through Wick. Wick fouled at the penalty corner. The game's been very even until this point, with both teams probing. The midfield's working hard, trying to get domination over the other. Penalty corner, pushed out, stopped by Dellison, it's flicked by Van der Hennet, and that's gone through Shahid Ali Khan. Not a high flick. Shahid, as you watch him, is going down for the shot. Van der Hennet flicks, it seems to go between the arm and the stomach of Shahid Ali Khan. 1-0 to Holland. But Pakistan and their forwards quickly counter-attacking. Rose challenges Geving. A bit of obstruction there. Rose quickly wanted to get the free hit taken. Puts it inside. Khan looking, dummying the shot. Plays it across, miscues it, pulls it in onto the foot, and that was an accident. He was trying to get the drag flick in to put it across the face of the goal and wins the penalty corner. Ellison's got a question or two, but Hussein. Denied. Struck by Bashir, that's a goal, 1-1. Great goal by Bashir. Lovely clean strike. Hussain pushes out. Junaid stops, it rolls it though, a couple of inches. Khalid Bashir puts it down. Bruce Molinar doesn't do nothing to stop it. Pakistan 1, Holland 1. Dellison in the midfield. Sabaz Rob, but the umpire says no. Pull back and Holland quickly counter-attacking Pakistan circle. Good skill by Taka van den Hennett, pulls it in. Oh, that's a lovely dummy there. Super play by Brinkman. Looked across it, sent Shahid Ali Khan down the wrong way, and then put it into the empty goal. Brinkman looks across it, pulls it in reverse side. Shahid Ali Khan committed. Holland 2, Pakistan 1. But Pakistan determined not to be overrun as the rain starts to come down. Rough. Shabazz. Shabazz feeds it square. The man. Hussain outside, pulls it across. Oh, Ashraf's at the far post, brilliant goal. Bartluji was leaving it. Ashraf ghosts in button far post, dives reverse stick on the ground and just gives it just a little nudge inside the far post. Pakistan 2, Holland 2. We rejoin the match in the second half. Vane trying to crash the ball across, gets the foot. Wick comes up to take the long corner. Driven across, that is a par for foot, that is a penalty corner. Good pressure from the Dutch, driving the ball down the reverse side of the Pakistan defence. Won the foot, another opportunity for Taka van der Hennett to show his skill at the penalty corner. Drags it in, flicks in the far post, another low flick from Taka van der Hennett, picking his spot, congratulated by his team members. It's stopped by Dellison. Taco drags it one step. Shahid Ali Khan again probably should have got a hand on it. Pakistan try and counter, but great work by Brinkman in the middle, determined to break it up. Taka van der Hennett, nice skills. Straight down the middle of the Pakistan defence. He's tackled from behind, play on. Oh, that's super clearance off the line. Taco wanting the goal, all the advantage, can't have both. Scramble in front of the goal, and the man just knocked it off as it was about to roll in. Dellison again, rolling the pressure up down the middle. Van der Hennett is a nightmare for Pakistan at the moment. Oh, and Khalid Bashir's brought his stick up there. Whip shows his anger at the situation. Hennett is floored by Bashir's stick. Umpire Yasudan has a bit of a problem on his hand here and has to deal with it by sending Khalid Bashir off, and Van der Hennett has to go off for treatment. Dellison, meanwhile, has a free hit. Short to Vane. Vane, good shot. Drops out to Brinkman. Brinkman drives in. Pushes it behind the Pakistan defence. Wins another penalty corner. Without Bashir to help them, there's a certain worry and consternation in the Pakistan defence. Super little play. The ball pushed behind the defence, obstructed as he's trying to get through, and despite Shahid Ali Khan's clearance, penalty corner. Brinkman pushes out. Dellison stops. Strike. It's a good save on the line by Mahmood. Super save. Jazet took the strike. Mahmood make a brilliant stop on the line and clears it away. Pakistan determined to try and get back in through Junaid, but Dellison's blocking that middle. Pakistan keep counter-attacking down the middle, and Dellison's a thorn in their side. Holland, however, is switching the ball about well, using the two wings, certainly exposing room behind them. Akhlaq comes across to take the free hit, one of the many rolling substitutes that's been used today by both sides. Temperature's starting to soar, but that's a good rod by Dellison, breaks into at the top of the circle, good dummy, feeds it through, onto Zaman's foot, penalty corner. Good run by Dellison, committed Zaman, then put the ball onto his foot to get the penalty corner, and Taka van der Hennett is back on, and he'll be wishing to make his mark as Brinkman pushes out. Van der Hennett flicks, it's into the bottom right this time, two to the left, one to the right. That's sweet revenge for Van der Hennett. That's his hat-trick, and that's Holland 4, Pakistan 2. 3 goals from Hennett's flicks. Pakistan trying to counter-attack, but Dellison's constantly in the middle there, breaking play up, and if not, Brinkman's at his side. fouling there, but stopping the smooth flowing attacks from Pakistan. Had a great tournament, Brinkman. Mahmood tries to find the wing, but Gebbing intercepts. Taco picks it up, feeds the long ball forward. Wick chases. Determined, strong player this. Good rob. Wick, one-handed skill, cuts in towards the circle. Goes round. He's fouled. Wins the penalty corner. Congratulations from colleague Bain there. Lovely direct run from Wick. Would have got the goal, but his stick is taken from under him by Ali. And that's another penalty corner, another opportunity for Van der Hennet to increase his tally. And he does just that. Changes back to the right-hand side again. Great draw in his face. This is only his third game since his injury, and yet that puts him joint top scorer so far in the whole tournament. That's his fourth of the game. That's Holland 5, Pakistan 2. The man tries to get back some pride. Josette clears long. Picked up by Dellison. 3 against 3. Dellison waiting for the support. Brinkman is the man. Back to Dellison. Wick's in space. Attacks the circle. Wick's fouled. That's another penalty corner. Wick attacking in space. He's fouled on both accounts there. A little rough by Shahid Ali Khan. There's Brinkman out again to Dellison. Van der Hennet, 1-2. It's lobbed over the keeper this time. That's his 5th goal of the game, and that's 6 for Holland. That will make Van der Hennet top scorer of the tournament so far. Lovely little 1-2 with Walter Drent, and then simply lodge Shahid Ali Khan, leaving Pakistan in tatters. Not quite one-way traffic as umpire Walter gives a long corner, but the final whistle goes, and that is a convincing victory for Holland.
4 goals in each half there provided plenty of entertainment for the fans on final day. Although Pakistan drew level twice in the first half, they remained scoreless in the second, while the Dutch netted 4. And so the Netherlands wrap up 3rd place and Pakistan 4th. And that's a game Taco van den Honnet will long remember. 5 goals, a rare feat indeed. To the final then, and I'm sure the promoters in Kuala Lumpur were hoping for an Olympic replay, having accepted that Malaysia were never going to make it, although they did perform well at home. Australia and Germany have each won the Champions Trophy 5 times, and in fact have shared it between them since 1983. Although Australia was beaten 3-1 in the early rounds by Germany, the Kookaburras squandered half a dozen chances, and so I'm sure Frank Murray would have been asking for a similar game, but with better finishing, and there'd be no reason why they couldn't win. Again, Ian Taylor is your commentator at the Tun Razak Stadium.
Germany won 2-0 last year in Barcelona. Will they be able to repeat it? So far they've been unbeaten here, a young side. Australia, virtually the Olympic silver medalists, only 1 or 2 changes. In particular, goalkeeper Stuart Deering makes his first appearance, maybe to try and counter the German penalty corner specialists. Australia attack, Warren Birmingham feeds it out wide. Driven hard. Picked up quickly there loosely, Wansborough. Are we going to see a repeat of the pool match where Wansborough appeared in front of goal with the ball on many occasions but missed the target? Good little interplay here. Corbett picks it up, feeds it straight to Wansborough. Wansborough tries to tee the volley up. The whistle's already gone, in fact, but is that significant? Todd Williams crashes the ball across. Blunt, great interception, steers the ball with his reverse stick laid on the ground. Michael Green attacks for Germany. Keeps a little ball under the arm. And to snatch it back as Waldhauser attacks the circle. Looks at the penalty corner off Jason Duff, and he gets just that. Puts it onto Duff's feet. Great support from the Germans. The Spengler pushes out. Will it be Blunt? Will it be Michael? Michael strikes. Good save by Deering. Good test. His very first touch of the tournament, and he'll be happy with that. As umpire Santideo blows the whistle. Jason Duff carries out, preferred over Carruthers to start this match. Knocks the ball long, and as far as Blunt is sweeps up. Dominated the midfield for Germany. Feeds it out wide to Spengler. They centre back, but a very pivotal role. But Australia looking for the quick counter-attack, certainly looking to put pressure on the midfield through Birmingham and Lewis. Lewis gets a free hit, leaves it. Birmingham gives it to Stacey, knocks it wide. Finds Corbett in space. Corbett goes round Spengler, he's obstructed. Wins the free hit. Blunt there, sweeping behind Stengler. Ball's drilled across in space. It's Bronsbury. He's found the goal. He's found the goal this time. That is Australia 1, Germany 0. That's a super shot. Hardly had time to turn on that ball, but hit a cracking shot into the top right-hand corner. The Australian support glad that Wandsworth found his scoring touch. One touch, hits the ball, past now, leaving now no chance at all. Australia 1, Germany 0. Sure, Germany won't want to concede either goal or territory that quickly, and will want to get back in. We've certainly seen when they've gone down in the past, they strike straight back. But Stengler finds the ball. Attacks Todd Williams. Umpire Santideo said to Williams, that's an unjust tackle. Stengler wins a penalty corner and gives Germany the chance to equalise. The question mark, will it be Michael to strike or Blunt to flick? Gerber pushes out this time. To Michael. Michael slips it to Blunt. Blunt goes round to Ness. Ness shoots. He shoots wide. That's a different routine. We haven't seen that one before. Obviously aware that the Australians are charging out to Blunt, who normally flicks when he receives the ball from that position. Carruthers closed him down, but they left Ness free. But that shot is well wide. Australia through Wandsworth, threading the ball wide. Good run by Lewis, but Germans rob and counter-attack. Ball back through the middle, pivotal role, Meyerhofer, supported by Gerber. Back to Meyerhofer. He's had a super tournament. A young player controlled the midfield, spread the ball out. Does he find Schaefer? Schaefer's robbed. That's when Elmer's quite happy to push that off the side. Gerber comes up quickly to take the free hit. Steng's on his shoulder, feeds it to Steng. Slips under the arm to Schaefer. No room through that yellow wall, and they back to where they started. Will he hit it this time? Yes, he does. And as far as Gerber, who slipped it through. Ball drops to Meyerhofer. Meyerhofer fires it in. Deering kicks it out, but it's back to Meyerhofer. Feeds it off the 1-2 off the Australian stick, onto the foot, penalty corner. Australians go back, knowing full well that Germany's penalty corner machine could equalise, with Michel and Blunk both poised. Gerber out, stopped by Green. It's flicked. Oh, that's a good save by Deering. Didn't go down, stayed up, took the flick onto his hand, pitched over the bar for a long corner. Normally we see Michael strike these, but he decides to drag flick, expecting the keeper to go down, but he stayed on his feet. That's good goalkeeping. Germany desperate to try and get this equaliser. As the first half whistle goes, that's Australia 1, Germany 0. A much improved Australian performance where they've squeezed the German fullback, they've stopped the Germans carrying it forward from these deep positions, and they've certainly looked to counter-attack at speed. We joined the game in the second half. Umpire Bob Lathers of Holland there. Germany looking for the equaliser. Body Mead counter-attacks for Australia, down the left wing. Looks for the 1-2. No room through there. Germany slow the game down. Possession is the name. Good play by Michel. Wide right, trying to use 1-2 with Waldhauser, but Wandsworth picks up. And through Lewis, Australia look to counter. Jay Stacey can't control it. Hollensteiner with Schaefer. Hollensteiner feeds it into the middle. Lewis makes a snatch, hits it long. There's Davis in space, tucks it under his arm. Hager's arrived, casually picks his spot, but with precision. I say casually, that was a beautiful goal. Great setup by Davis. He could have shot here from the narrow angle, but he just tucks a lovely little ball under the arm, and as now pushes out, Hager slots it into the corner. Great joy for him, good to see him hitting the target. Germany counter through Green to Ness. A lot of pressure from the Australians on these German defenders. Ball coming through to Lewis. He's got speed, this chap. He goes at the top of the circle. Commits the defender, plays it out to Bodymead. Bodymead shoots. That's a great goal. Another Australian forward who just couldn't seem to find the target in his full game. Certainly knows where it is today. But this goal was set up by Lewis. Committed the German defender Stengler. Bodymead had the time, and he gave now no chance at all. Well, who would have predicted this? Germany have scored an average of 3 goals a game. They haven't scored one. They're 3-0 down. They are really struggling. But they won't give in. Wansborough again counters, makes a snatch, carries the ball in, he's men in support, both sides. Oh, Blunt. That could be cardable. They're good friends, but Wansborough won't appreciate that. He beats Blunt all ends up here, tucks the ball down the reverse side. Blunt just happens to leave a leg out. That'll be a penalty corner. In other circumstances, it could have been a card. Warren Birmingham pushes out. Stopped by Lewis. Struck by Stacey. Too high, Santideo says. Indicates that it must be down at the 18-inch level. Australia pile the pressure. Bodymede doesn't Stengler have it down that corner. Comes in down the line, beautiful play. It's drop free to Hager. Hager shoots. Oh, he's caught that on the edge. He should have come down to the bottom corner. Got underneath it, and it's wide. It's lovely play by Bodymede here. Works his way along the goal line. Sees Hager in space, plays the ball, it hits the German foot and therefore doesn't quite come where Hager wants it. Hager gets behind Green and as now tries to cover, Hager throws himself at it to get the shot. He can't quite get far enough behind it. I wonder if Lewis had told him that he was free coming up as Germany counter. Waldhauser against Jay Stacey. Stacey wins it. No, he doesn't, says umpire Dale. He can't believe it. Dorflinger comes up to take it for Germany. To Ness. Ness cracks it across. Everything's going Australia's way at the moment. Long clearance by Corbett, finds Davis, and Davis takes Michael on. He's quick, he'll show him a clean pair of heels. Looks for the cross. Picks his man. It's Bodymede. Bodymede picks his spot, and that's passed now, and that's Australia 4, Germany 0. Australia just can't seem to do anything wrong in front of goal. Super play by Davis. Finds Bodymede in space. Bodymede controls with 2 touches, and now lying on his backside. Unbelievable as Ness tries to counter, but nothing they can do seems to be right. Now it's Birmingham. Lovely dummy. Tucks it under at the penalty corner. Umpire Dale says no, it was just outside the circle. Birmingham will take it. Very tight. All the players have to be 5 yards. Birmingham looking for the angle. Drops back to Birmingham. Birmingham shoots. Puts it wide. He'll be disappointed. That's the first shot I've seen him have in the tournament. And it was a clear shot to miss the target. He'll be very disappointed with that. But everything's falling for Australia at the moment, and Germany can't seem to do anything right. But Schaefer tries to get one back. Plays it to Saliger. They haven't seen an open opportunity yet for the Germans to score. Only their penalty corners, and they haven't worked. Saliger works down the line. All he can win is the long corner. Dorflinger waits at the back with the closest attention of Jay Stacey. Stengler and Green play the 1-2. Green drives it in. Again to Saliger. Close skills, tucks it under. Played out. Unlucky on Carruthers there. Made the interception, but it caught him on the foot. That's a penalty corner. Warren Birmingham throws his hands on his head. Signs of cramp. Very hot out there. Good indoor skills, good close skills by the Germans. Australia would be disappointed. They did clear it up. They did come away with the ball, but then to concede a penalty corner. And I think that's indicative of tiredness. Very hot, very humid. And both teams have done a lot of running. Slipped again to Blunt. Blunt shoots, it's saved. Drops to Stengler. Stengler's kicked it. Kicked it just before he put it in, and umpire Latos, despite Captain Blunt's question mark, as the ball drops free, it hits Stengler on the foot. He manages to put it in with a stick. By that time the whistle has already gone. It's one of the few scoring chances Germany have had. It's Birmingham for Australia again. And these Australian forwards are really looking to go at the moment. Can't seem to do much wrong, as again it's Bodymede attacking the circle. Oh, bit hopeful from Bodymede there from an acute angle. He's put 2 in and he thinks he can put them in from anywhere. Reverse stick shot, lovely little skill here. Goes past Michael, chips the ball, but now says that's no problem, you're not beating me from that sort of angle. Germany piling on the pressure, but the goals are all in their net. This is Saliger again, crosses the ball, intercepted. Penalty corner, little bit of obstruction. Some very tired feet out there. Some very happy faces. Stuart Deering's lived up to his expectations so far. Can he keep out the duo? Will it be Michael? Will it be Blanc? Michael shoots, Deering saves. Super save, but there's a push. Santideo indicates a penalty stroke. Carruthers and Elmer both giving close attention, a little too close. Leaning on Dorflinger as the ball drops out. Dorflinger with the scoring chance, but he's bundled over. That's a penalty stroke, and surely this is a chance for Germany to get one back. Stuart Deering's big moment. Called in for the game, saved at the penalty corners. Can he do it at the stroke? Meyerhofer to take. Meyerhofer dummies, tucks it under the arm and tucks it wide. Deering puts his arm up for applause. Meyerhofer just can't believe it. Nothing's going right for Germany today. He's had a penalty corner early in the tournament. He tucked it away. That one he put wide of the post. Ness, pinned in by the Australians. Bodymead makes her get the snatch again. Feeds it forward to Hager. Hager hits the side. He'll be disappointed with that finish. He's been very clinical this match, but the Australian forwards are still rampaging right up to the end. Bodymead selflessly makes the cross. Hager's got space. He'll be disappointed he didn't get it on the target. Relentless pressure from these Australian forwards. This time it's Corbett who finds Lewis. Australians constantly attacking, no respite from Germany. Schroeder comes out, looking for at least a consolation goal. Waldhauser, supported by Meyerhofer, feeds it wide, keeping the pattern. Stengel. Stengler feeds it back inside to Blunt, just been nominated man of the tournament, best player of the tournament. Small consolation as this side is 4 goals down. Schroeder puts it in, but the whistle's already gone. Nothing is going right for them today, and little chance of them getting it right now. A fully committed Australian defence, very tired, but very happy, as there goes the final buzzer. Schroeder's goal was disallowed. That's 4 goals to Australia, none to Germany. A shock result for some, but for me, Australia have learned from their performances. They've got better as the tournament's gone on.
A happy end to a hard week's work for Australia and some compensation for the loss to Germany in Barcelona. The beautiful trophy is a solid silver hockey stick donated by former Pakistan hockey president Air Marshal Nur Khan, and Warren Birmingham only too pleased to have his hands on it. A fine performance from the Kookaburras, taking the chances they let slip when they met Germany earlier in the competition. An excellent match too in goal from Stuart Deering, who came into the side for Lachlan Dreyer after spending the tournament on the bench until the final, a pretty tough call-up. The Hockey World Cup, held every 4 years, is set down for Sydney in November next year, and that's a useful edge Australia has established over its #1 rival. I hope you've enjoyed the 15th Champions Trophy. It provided plenty of great goals and an ideal tonic for Frank Murray's men after finishing runners-up at the Olympics. I'm Steve Rebellion for ABC Sport. Goodbye for now.